Hi, everybody. Welcome to Am I the Asshole podcast.
Wow. Yes. YTA for that.
Here with my hostess with the mostess.
I don't hate that. It's very like Moira Rose. She'd be like, yes, David, the hostess.
What is a who?
From Schitt's Creek. You need to watch that show. It's so funny.
I don't watch shows with profanity in the title. I almost said child.
Okay. So you don't listen to our podcast. You outed yourself just now. Exposed.
It's actually censored. Asterisk.
You're
asterisk.
right. Whatever.
Asterisk. So what's new? Anything going on?
What is new? Doing a live show for my true crime podcast. It's sold
so
out.
Cool. Oh my God, congrats.
Thank you.
That's
Be excited.
fantastic. Now, you don't do a lot of live performance.
I mean, this is like our first one. So
No, but you.
Oh, me
is it
personally?
your first live performance? Sarah live.
I mean, kind of. I was in an improv troupe in high school.
You were in an improv troupe?
Yeah.
You'll love to hear it.
I'm funny.
Yes, you are.
Thanks.
Well, that's great. And are you anxious at all? What's your emotions
I'm not
about
anxious
it?
yet. I'll probably want to throw up right before.
Yeah.
Hopefully have 2 glasses of wine, be like a
'cause
little
don't-
talkative, but not sloppy. That's the goal.
Yeah, get a little drunky. So now your podcast is generally centered around an individual.
Yeah, an individual
murderer.
crime. It depends. Murderer, a
So
scam,
what's the crime
a cult.
for the live show, or is it secret?
I want it to be a secret, just because also we might change it, so I don't want to like put it out there yet.
Okay.
But I'll tell you later.
Well, rumor has it that it's the crime of Blockbuster. I don't know.
What?
I couldn't think of it. I was trying to think of a shitty non-crime. I mean, Blockbuster was a crime. Let me double down on that. The late fees at Blockbuster. Tell me, no one was sad when Blockbuster went out of business. We were like, yeah, that's what you get.
They were just too late to the upkeep. They were like, no one's going to want to wait for their videos so they don't get off the couch. And Netflix was like, haha, bet.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, guys, we got one heck of an app for you. We'll get right to the meat here. I know we've been on a bad streak of not getting to the meat, but no one complains.
Do people hate it? No, they
people
want to
don't
get
really
to
complain.
know us.
People like it.
Yeah.
You know, well, I don't know. I'm trying to think what's new with me. I don't know. My girlfriend got the new AirPods, so now I got the old
What are the
AirPods.
new AirPods?
Oh, I forgot about my AirPod incident. So the new AirPods. Damn, yeah, this is a wild
I love that
one.
you're always having an incident.
I always
Let's
have these
fucking
incidents.
go.
I know what happens with me, but the AirPods Pro, which they silence your surroundings. It's pretty good. I hate endorsing a product, guys. You don't need the AirPods Pro. Your AirPods are fine, or whatever you have.
First of all, your regular headphones with wires are probably fine.
They're fine. So anyway,
fine.
the new AirPods have like noise canceling. That's what it's called.
Ooh.
And it's very powerful. And it's a little scary. You can kind of not hear traffic and certain
Ooh,
things. Like
dangerous.
it really brings the volume down.
That's how we just eliminate the rich. Haha.
Aha. So I go, wow, you want me to die, don't you? Well, sometimes I borrow them when my girlfriend is not using them. So anyway, I go to Barnes & Noble. I'm borrowing them on this particular day. And I called Barnes & Noble earlier to see if they had basically a specific item. It's the Settlers of Catan expansion. Nobody gives a shit. So
Totally normal, not at all weird. Let's
I go to Barnes & Noble, despite the fact that the employees assured me that they did not have this product. But for some reason, I thought, I think you do.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Such a Danny story.
It just came to me. So I go down into the Barnes & Noble and I'm walking. I'm enjoying the AirPods Pro. I can't even hear anything around me. And I think I was like walking fast and then like suddenly stopped. And because I saw it. I saw the product that they said they didn't have, but I secretly knew they had.
Ooh.
And then I feel very distinctly, not hard at all, but very distinctly the feeling of being punched in the arm.
What?
Again, not hard at all. Zero pain.
So like your appendix hurting level of pain,
No.
which was a 1.
Okay, this is a 0.3. Like this
Wow.
is barely registering.
Danny's very sensitive. He's very like has acute sensitivity to pain.
Yes.
I respect it.
Yes, and pleasure. Anyway, I looked at Sarah really intensely when I said
Yeah.
that. So anyway, I rip out my AirPod and I go, excuse me. For some reason.
no.
And it was a older man. I'd say he's about 55, wearing an like a jacket that said security guard, and he was very hunched. He was a very hunched man. And as soon as I said that, he just walked away. And I was like, what just happened? And what struck me and the idea I had, I was like, I could have kicked that guy's ass, but I never would because he's old and pathetic.
Men are so weird.
Well, no, but I realized, Sarah, that I would never get into a fight that I could win because I would really never get into a fight is really why. I mean, I would get my ass kicked.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. And so then they had the product. Remember, they had the product that they said they wouldn't.
Yes.
I have to tell the manager. So I go to the front and I'm just like, yeah, is there a manager here? Yeah, just to let you know, I called earlier and you said you didn't have this. You have 20 of them. So just so you know, that happened.
Oh, Karen.
So,
man.
And he was just like, okay. And I was like, yeah, okay. Not okay, actually. But yeah, I'm still going to buy this here. Thank you.
You're such a Karen. Oh, my God.
I'm a big old
That's why
Karen.
you always have these stories.
Well, it's my girlfriend is a Karen. We're a Karen family, essentially.
But I do love it. But it's just entertaining for me.
See, her thing, though,
I love it because I don't have to deal with it. I like to hear all the stories.
Yeah. Yeah. But remember, I was the notorious plopper. I'm not a plopper. I do not just plop my goods down on the counter at the supermarket or any retail store.
The one time Danny did nothing and it haunted him for weeks.
I know, right? Everything haunts me.
We're like, this is not a thing.
We got a one heck of a juicy up for all y'all. Today, our second story of the day, AITA for blowing up at my stepsister at her comments about my lost weight. Oh boy, Sarah,
Woo.
I already know we're going to get into it about that.
Stay tuned.
Actually, I said something like that to my coworker. I said, we're going to get into it. And he's like, can you not use that phrase? And I was like, I'm sorry. He's like, get into it. That means like, that's like doing it. And I was like, oh,
no, it's not. Right? Ew, that's so grossly literal. Ew, no, it's not.
Oh, ew, I didn't even think of it.
What are you talking about? No, get into it to me means like you're about to have an argument.
Yeah, I thought that's what it meant.
Ew, I can't.
Now, my dad does
I'm
go
mad
too
at your
far.
coworker now.
I know, right? My dad does go too far with this. He will say hook up.
No,
like that.
My mom used to do that, and then we had to be like, Mom, you can't say that anymore. I know it's logical. You think it means like we're gonna link up at the mall.
Link up. Yeah,
we're not gonna hook up at the mall. You're not doing that with anybody, I hope. Right. So we had to just be like, Mom, you can't say that. Like it took me years also to tell my mom why she couldn't call flip flops thongs.
Yeah,
so many years. Like,
right.
I was just like, no, it's the type of underwear that goes up your butt.
No,
like, please,
no, Sarah. I don't know why she's my grandma voice.
Yeah, what?
No, Sarah.
No, she would keep saying it, and we're like, Mom, please stop now.
Listen, Sarah. There's a reason I had you and your fraternal triplets all at the same time, and so I can say whatever the hell I want.
I mean, okay, that's a valid point, I guess.
Our first story of the day. Would I be the asshole if I posted a video montage online of my neighbor throwing things in my yard? By kaoshields. I moved into a duplex in the summer of 2019. I installed a Ring video security system along with a front yard doorbell and backyard video floodlights.
Intense.
Okay. When I moved in, there were a ton of branches and limbs by my neighbor's fence. That was odd since we only had one medium-sized tree nearly 10 feet from the fence. Later that summer, the backyard Ring camera caught the neighbor throwing branches over. We realized that this is where the huge pile came from. Halloween came around and my roommate and I decided to throw a party on Friday, November 1st. We tried to talk to Miss Stick Thrower, but they were not home during our 3 attempts. We left a note explaining it along with our names and numbers. The party was 30 plus people coming and going, along with music and a beer pong table in the backyard. Cops were rightfully called at 11:45 p.m. We shut it down. November 4th. Oh, man, this is really like intensely written.
We got a timeline.
Type A here. November 4th, I was in class and got a front doorbell notification. It was Mrs. Stick Thrower pulling up my Halloween decorations and throwing them behind my bushes. When I got home, I saw that one was broken. My roommate and I decided to call the non-emergency line about this. A cop came out. We showed her everything, and we went to talk to the neighbor. Her fiance opened the door, claimed she was not home despite her car being there. Time went on, and I noticed that she came into our backyard via a gate, which was deep in my backyard. What? Yeah. Well, it has to be on an edge.
You're right. That's how they work.
That's
how they work. You're right.
This freaked me out. As video showed her smoking and wandering around my backyard, I put a carabiner on the gate to keep her out. Is that how you pronounce carabiner?
Yeah.
Carabiner for some of us.
You need to do more ropes courses in camp. Come on.
Ropes courses?
Yeah.
Wow.
The whitest shit I've ever said. All right.
End of November, when I hear ropes course, I think a class about using ropes sexually. I had no idea.
Oh, God.
You mean like a ropes course?
Like a zip line.
Oh, I thought you meant like a course, like a obstacle course, lots of ropes on it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Of course.
You climb a ladder, you go down a zip line at summer camp, you use a carabiner.
You know what? I think I've heard that and associated with sex and been wrong thousands of times before.
You're like, I don't know what they're doing at your summer camp, but
I'm like, are we going to hook up? They're like, what the hell is wrong with your cousin? And I'm like, I'm down. I come home and see, this is the end of November, see these huge limbs flying over the fence. This guy refers to like
tree
limbs? I get out, confront her, we argue, and she claims that she owns 2 feet of my backyard. She ends the conversation with, quote, do you want to make these next 4 years a living hell? Oh, so this guy's a freshman, we just found out.
Oh.
Called the non-emergency number, and once again, she hid from the cops. I found out that she is a professor at my university. I emailed, this is starting to sound like a lie. I just don't buy that. You live next to the professor? I don't think so. I emailed the dean of students, told him everything and provided proof. Their resources were useless and I'm beyond fed up. Cops say they can't do anything despite video evidence and 4 no trespassing signs. I want her to stop. Really? They can't do anything when you have video of someone? Anyway, we got a survey done and she does not own 2 feet into my backyard. I've edited together a video montage of her throwing limbs, branches, sticks, rocks, and cigarettes together along with her trespassing in my backyard. Would I be the asshole if I posted this video online with the caption, University Professor's Actions?
Now, Danny, you're an SEO petty master. What say you about this caption?
I don't love it, but I do see stuff like that fly on our trashy.
Really? I would say I think you'd got to hit harder, in my opinion.
Yeah, you should probably go farther. I could see this getting like 37 upvotes. It's also not really that visceral to watch, right? Because it's like you're watching stuff go over a fence. So it's like, how do I know? It could be like a great subreddit I like is Are Untrustworthy Pop-Tarts. Have you heard of this?
Huh?
I don't know what the origin story of it is, but the idea is that people make blatantly fake photographs online. Like they'll be like, oh, I ordered a pizza, but instead I got a shoe. And it's like, clearly you just put your shoe.
What? I need to look at this later. That sounds amazing.
Just put a shoe in a pizza box there, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like that didn't happen.
Like there's no way. Like that happened.
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
Well, that happened is people claiming something.
Right.
What is it again?
It's like people claiming a ridiculous story happened to them, and then everybody clapped, and then you just post it to Reddit to be like, that didn't fucking happen.
Yeah, I don't know that I buy this story.
So no, you'd be the asshole if you posted that caption. It would just be ineffective. It's bland as fuck. It's got no flavor. We got no context. You got to spice it up. But no, we can go deeper than this. Yeah,
I mean, I think that obviously this is everything he's doing is okay, but like I don't know, I'm also a little bit put off by many of the details. Like, why would someone in college, first of all, feel the need to have a Ring video security system?
So I did cut this because I didn't think it was irrelevant initially, but he and his mom, and aka probably just his mom, like bought this house or duplex. They bought it for him to live in.
Okay, but it's still backyard video floodlights. That's a little intense.
I know. Like, are you at Yale? Like, are you in New Haven? Why are you that intense?
Oh, New Haven's dangerous, huh?
It's not a nice place.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, yeah, as you know, I went to Yale. I never had any problems.
Right, of course.
So, I think that, God, I mean... I mean, obviously he has every right to do this. Obviously, she's in the wrong. But, like, I don't know. I just don't buy this story. Just something about the details are weird to me. And then she also insanely thinks, a professor, nonetheless, not that professors are particularly bright, but, you know, is going to just blatantly trespass? That's outrageous. And then crazily make up this thing about owning 2 feet of his property. I mean, it's insanity.
I think we both have crazy thoughts about this. Here's my crazy thought. She has a fiance and not a husband. So in my mind, I'm picturing her as young. Okay. And I'm like, why would a young person fucking bother with this? Like, I could see an old person being crotchety and doing this, but like a young 28-year-old lady who just has her like fiance, I can't see it, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't fit the profile.
No, you gotta be older.
A fiance with a double E, isn't that a woman? How does that work? The fiancé. You don't hear a lot in the news about the fiancé versus the fiancée divide.
Fiancé with 2 E's means a person is a woman.
Right? And do you say it the same way though?
Yeah.
Is it fiancé versus fiancé?
Yes, Danny.
There's got to be a difference. Fiancé versus fiancé.
No. It's just a French word.
Well, one has 2 E's and one has 1 E. You're telling me
to indicate the gender. That's what you do in other languages.
I know, but you're saying the pronunciation is the same?
Yeah, pretty much.
French is the asshole. That's bullshit.
French sucks. You don't pronounce the last syllable of most of the words.
Sarah, there's no way they're said the same. That's insane. That would really upset me.
Okay, well, look it up later.
So here's the thing. I don't buy it. That's where I'm at with this. But I guess in OP's defense, they do admit to having 30 people coming and going, along with music and a beer pong table. But then it's like, okay, but why is she so insane? Like,
well, also the thing is, like, the cops were called, but also it doesn't say by who. So I think I kind of have a similar, like, not a real problem with my neighbor because it's not an actual problem yet.
Yeah.
But we had a few instances, like one of which I don't think was my fault. One was definitely our fault and we were doing something wrong. The first time I was doing like a workout video in my apartment, it was like 7 o'clock. There was like some jumping involved.
That's
so
fine.
He came.
7.
Yeah, he came and rang my doorbell and he was like, "Hey, like I'm not usually home at this time. Like, is this something you do every day?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'll stop. No big deal. Like I just stopped jumping." I was like, "Okay, whatever. No big deal." One time, a while later, me and my roommate were trying to like hammer something, but we were trying to do it at 9 o'clock on a Friday night, which, okay, we shouldn't have been doing it
on
then.
a Friday?
Yeah, it was like 9 or 9:30. So we were like, okay.
A Friday? Who cares?
So he came and rang our doorbell and was like, "Hey, I'm trying to watch a movie." And he was like a little bit more like agitated, but not like aggressive, but I think a little annoyed.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh, okay, sorry. Like, we'll totally stop." And I think it was because he was predisposed to think we were doing something wrong because of this issue with my workout video. But then I thought about it and I was like, that wasn't even an issue. Like, I wasn't even doing anything wrong. I just stopped out of like being nice to you. So this is what I wonder is happening in this situation, but the opposite, where like they're predisposed to think this neighbor was an asshole. Right. Their cops get called because they're having a rager. They're playing beer pong outside. That's definitely illegal. He says
it's right. He says it's right.
Right. So it's like you don't even know that this was the neighbor or the professor. You're just predisposed to ascribing all asshole behavior to the professor. This party is irrelevant. I think it should get chucked from the narrative.
I think the inclusion of the party does give OP a little bit more validity. I think the reason he included the party was actually to say, like, look, I am not without sin, but that doesn't mean I deserve to have shit, right? Because it almost makes it even. But, I mean, this woman is such a kook. I mean, going into someone's property is really weird. It would make me uncomfortable. Yeah, and it's illegal.
It would totally make me uncomfortable.
It would make me uncomfortable because it's a literal boundary cross, and it's like, okay, that's a little weird. Like throwing shit. If we want to throw shit back and forth, does the punishment fit the crime? Like, is outing her? Well, he's not outing her necessarily, though. There are those crazy internet people who figure out where people live. So,
right.
I don't know.
See, I'm actually usually a proponent of public shaming when someone is in the wrong. If someone is being, I don't know, racist or bigoted online, I am into a public shaming. Right. I'm not sure if this really fits the bill, and until just now when I realized that you're talking about a student with a professor at the same university, some weird kind of potential power dynamics in play. But initially I was like, well, why are you involving the university? Like, this is not their problem at all. Like, why should they do anything about it?
Well, no, he's not involving the university. He's just calling
he emailed the dean of students, and he's like,
where?
I emailed the dean of students, told him everything, and provided proof their resources were useless, and I'm beyond fed up. So, like, why are you even going down there as a possible channel?
The dean of students? Is that the person in charge of the professors? That seems like the wrong person.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, why are you trying to get the university involved at all?
Oh, no, I think that's totally valid.
Why? What are they going to
do? Fire her?
For?
Being a bad neighbor? Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's stupid. Well, Denise S. says, YTA, posting that video will only make the situation worse than it already is. Seek out legal advice. Most firms will give you 15 minutes free, have a cease and desist letter issued, and use the law to move forward instead. A lot of yikes comments. Megan R. says, no, do it now. Get the Bosh fired. Jennifer T. says, post it. Old hag needs to be brought down. I don't think she's
whoa,
old.
I know. We don't think, she could be old. She could be on her second marriage. We don't know. But it's like, whoa, this bloodthirst is a little interesting. People in the internet love like vengeance. Not even justice, just vengeance.
This just doesn't strike me as, I don't know, this woman just sounds crazy. I mean, who would do this? It's so blatant.
I guess I don't get why the cops wouldn't do anything if there is footage of her blatantly trespassing.
I would think,
like, what's their reasoning for, I mean, I guess maybe if there are more serious issues and they're not going to devote the manpower, but you could get a lawyer to send a cease and desist and you could like move it up the chain, or at least threaten to move it up the chain that way.
Right. That's so weird.
I don't know. I'm just confused.
Fanny M writes, oh yeah, you would be the asshole, they're saying. It's nothing to do with her workplace, and this is a legal, not professional matter. I don't like the punitive glee that treats her... Ooh, I love the phrase. Punitive glee that treats her worse because she has some particular job. And it's not a university's business to sort it out. Either do it via the police or deal with it yourself, or put up with these, albeit petty problems.
I kind of agreed with her. I don't get why OP thought the university would or should get involved just because it's their employee.
Yeah, I mean, I see the inclination, right? It's
like if I don't know, like if I go to a bar and a guy who happens to work at McDonald's like hits on me and I don't like it, am I going to go to McDonald's and be like it doesn't make sense.
The thing is,
unless it's like university housing that's owned by the university.
Yes, that would make sense. That would make double sense.
But I don't think that this is happening.
Hitting on you and you not liking it, nothing illegal has happened. Throwing your shit on someone's property is like definitely a finable offense in a lot of jurisdictions.
Yes,
like, that's a thing.
So I think whoever is like in charge of this property, there's probably not an HOA, but if there was one or something of that effect, that's who would be in charge of this, not like... The university doesn't fucking care.
It's a weird thing to go to the university. I mean, it didn't work, so.
Yeah. I mean, they tried it. I guess I can't fault them for trying it, but like, why would you think that would work? I don't know.
Top Reddit comment by _VOB NTA, but before you post it, see if r/legal advice has any suggestions for you. They might have tips on how to force the cops or university into action, and posting that video would probably hurt you if there is any other solution. But if legal advice is nothing for you, I say post that shit all over.
So the real question is, Danny, do you think that this would actually do anything, like, except for making this person feel better?
No, I mean, I don't really think this would likely endanger this person, the professor, and...
Yeah, but do you think it would be effective?
No, not at all. I would hold on to the video. I would do nothing of the sort. I would keep mounting, keep building the case, go to the police. If the police won't hear it, then just keep building the case. And honestly, I do think involving the university, it makes sense to me. That's what I would do. I would be like, hey, just so you know, I live by this professor. I'm very concerned about them because they keep doing this and they won't stop. I have videos. Here's video 1, video 2, video 3. Here's the compilation. Like, you know... That's outrageous. It's disrespectful behavior that doesn't cohere with the academic community that would write something like that. Some bullshit like that.
Yeah, I can just see the university just wanting to take a totally hands-off approach because if it's not occurring on their property, then like I can see them not wanting to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, but look, there was, for instance, oh God, I just remember this. This really like validated me because, you know, I don't drink. And there was this video that went viral of a professor. And all she did was get blackout drunk and yell at the Uber. I don't even think she...
Oh, that doctor? I remember that. But she like... Wait, if we're thinking of the same person...
Did she do something else?
She like was berating an Uber driver.
She was berating him. She was just saying words. She didn't hit him. You know, she was saying words to someone. Mean words, but not like racist. Just like mean words.
I watched this video in its entirety, but I don't recall the specifics, so I cannot comment.
And she lost her job. You know, I view this as a little bit more active. This is a little bit more premeditated.
So?
Yeah, that girl was just drunk. She was a drunk girl yelling shit. Who gives a fuck? You know, this person is actively like kind of terrorizing this person's yard. Get off my yard.
Okay, I do think that the Uber lady I'm thinking of did like assault the driver and smash his phone, something crazy like that.
Yeah, you're right. She did smash his phone.
So yeah, for that you 100 bajillion% deserve it.
What do you mean? It's property damage. Throwing trash all over someone's thing is property damage. They're pretty similar.
Well, I definitely think that person deserved to get exposed. I don't think that this person doesn't not deserve to get exposed, right. But so I'm just like...
if you could get her picture and get a photograph of her face, you say go for it?
So like two things. I guess I just feel like this is not like inflammatory enough to gain any attention.
No, it's not.
So then at that point, you're just, it's like, is it worse? Like, is it worse to try to virally shame someone and fail? And to me, I'm kind of like, maybe. Because what this person is saying in legal advice too, and I'm not qualified to give advice on this, but it's like, if you do try to virally shame someone and have it backfire and they find out about it, can they then come after you?
I mean, probably
I don't know.
I would think he would maybe do better to threaten her, but I think he's got to try. What's the phrase? You catch more bees with sugar than honey or something like that.
Catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
Yeah, there we go.
Something like that.
That makes way more sense than what I said.
I feel like he needs to exhaust all the possible options before, like, it's not even going nuclear because it's such a lame idea, but like before going, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a low grade explosion.
TNT.
There we go.
Would I be the asshole if I posted a video montage online of my neighbor throwing things in my yard? I think we both agree not the asshole.
But not necessarily effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the asshole, I guess.
AITA for blowing up at my stepsister at her comments about my lost weight. Yikes-a-roni. My stepsister, 20F, and I, 24M, have never gotten along. Her mom and my dad got married when we were 6 and 10, so we've known each other for a long time. In my stepmom's eyes, she could do no wrong, and anything bad that happened was pinned on me. My dad is a complete pushover, so he would always fall over to whatever my stepmom would say. I like to picture him literally being like, whoa!
Right, like those Weebles wobbles, but they don't fall down.
Yeah, those Weebles. What is that?
It's like a toy that has like, it kind of looks like a cone and it has a weight at the bottom, so you push it but it doesn't fall.
That sounded like a song to me, like
it
those
is.
Weebles.
Weebles wobbles, but they don't fall down.
There we go. I knew it was something. When I was about 15, I started gaining weight. I ballooned up from 125 pounds to 162. By the way, if you're going to gain weight, folks, I recommend ballooning. That's kind of a fun image. That's cute.
You're right. Don't just pack on a couple pounds.
Yeah, just really balloon it up.
Go big or go home.
I guess at that point, she decided she was cooler than I was and started mocking me and making fun of me, calling me names like fat ass and chubster. I would constantly go to my stepmom about it, and she would tell me she's just teasing. She's so much younger. Why are you getting upset? I got pissed off to the point where I just started avoiding her and locking myself upstairs in my room with a bag of chips. At 22, I hit 270 pounds, and I knew I had gone too far. So as a New Year's resolution, I decided to start losing weight. I cut out all junk food and started hitting the gym. Around this time, my stepsister started to overeat. I don't really know why, but she gained over 30 pounds. She was still constantly belittling me about my weight, which admittedly was way over hers. Now, can you belittle someone about being too big? I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'll be here all week, folks. By the end of this year, I lost 120 pounds. It felt amazing. My stepsister now weighed more than me. Wow. Oh boy. Over Christmas dinner, all the aunts and uncles and cousins were complimenting me on my weight loss. My stepsister just sat there smoldering. Every time someone said something, she'd add, "Hey, he's still pretty big." And, Stop. Well, he didn't get rid of that face roundness. Wow. Or maybe lose a little more around that gut. It was infuriating. Now, here's where I might be the asshole. Finally, at her last little snide, "Look, you know you'll just put it all back on. Why do you even bother?" I flipped out. I yelled, "Why can't you just be happy for me instead of getting on me about every little thing?" She said back to me, "Defensive much? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your 200-pound feelings?" I asked her. I probably should. Oh, I got confused there. She said back to me, "Defensive
the dialogue
much?"
was not great.
And then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your 200-pound feelings?" I asked her. Okay, the sentence isn't great, Sarah. Forgive me.
No, the structure, the syntax is flipped.
I probably should have stopped there, but I kept going. "Calling me a fat ass. Look at your plate. You've eaten half the table, fatty." She started crying and left the table. My stepmom screamed at me, saying just because I was insecure, I can't take it out on everyone. Woo. I said, "Oh, so now you're talking, not in the past 10 years of constant fatty and lard ass and porker, but you're way older," she whined. I left the table too and went home. I woke up today to 1,000 messages from my stepmom, my dad, and my stepsister. They were saying I wasn't welcome to their house until I apologized. I'm not going to. AITA.
I almost feel bad weighing in on these types of situations because it's like you can't attempt to reason with people who seem like people who are under the control of like a narcissist.
Oh, who's under the control of the narcissist?
The stepmom.
Because the
the OP is the scapegoat. The stepsister is the golden child. The dad is the enabler. I spent too much time on Raised by Narcissists. It's a great subreddit.
Great subreddit.
Like, you know, I almost feel bad giving advice on this because it's like, it doesn't really matter if you're wrong or not because, like, your whole family is wrong.
So you really read that as what's going on here?
Yeah, what do you think's going on?
No, I mean, I don't know that I have like a whole subreddit I can put on this
We got
thing.
archetypes we can give to everyone. It fits perfectly.
Wow. No, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I don't know. I guess I kind of view it as the gender angle comes to mind. You know, this is a man talking to a woman, and I don't think it's the reason is because he's older. It's because he's a man and being a fat.
I mean, like, you're 4 years older. Calm the fuck down, stepmom. It's not that serious. She's not 7 years old.
But look, I do think it's different. I think being an obese man means you're an obese man, and being an obese woman means you're shunned. You know, like
I guess, but it doesn't mean that you should have to endure like years of, I don't know, being shit on, and your mom or whoever is not even going to step in at all.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying OP's wrong, but I'm just saying like his kind of inability to split that hair, I think just, you know, shows a little bit like, bro, like it's really not the same. And by the way, if he was just taking it, Sarah, if that was a funny thing to do, you know, and I've mentioned this before, like in Spanish, this shit flies. We call one of my uncles El Gordo, which just means the fat one. For some reason in English, people, they hate when you do that. What's up, the fat one? Slap.
I don't know, because to me, and maybe I'm just playing into the narrative OP wants me to believe, but like I'm not really able to take this in a vacuum, and I'm seeing like years of constant put downs and no one intervening, and it's like, oh, now you want to say shit when the whole time you told me to suck it up, and now this girl can't even take it one time. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he did lash out.
He went very far, but like, I don't know, because I'm just like, you know what? How far can you push someone before they snap?
Yeah.
And when they snap, are you really going to get mad at them for not like doing everything all nice and by the book? Like, no, you did this. It's
true. And she started the fight, right?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even a fight. It was just like a beatdown over the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but you're right. In this instance, she started
it. It was her insecurity that started because people were complimenting him on his weight, and she sat there smoldering, and every time someone would say something nice, she'd add, he's still pretty big.
You're right. And also, he's 150 pounds. He's not that big.
Yeah, no,
I did the math. I did it in my head, and then I was like, that can't be right. And then I drew it out on my notes, and I was like, okay, he's still like a thin dude.
Yeah.
No, unless he's like very, very short.
4'7".
Yeah, like I mean, he's not a big dude anymore.
Yeah. Top FB comment, Nate S. writes, don't apologize. She's TA, as is your stepmother from the sound of it. She isn't way younger. She just sounds like a total B. Second top, Daniel P. writes, NTA, but you could have stopped at 2 quips and claimed the moral high ground. Now you can't. Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Like, I think sparring back and forth is like, you can't expect to just have like a total fight, a one-sided fight with someone. Like, they're going to hit back at you. But then, first of all, calling someone a fatty is just like, damn, that's pretty low. That's pretty low. So yeah, he definitely went too far. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think one thought I was having on going too far is, you know, we've talked about sometimes we'll hold it against people for not saying the right thing at the right time. Like maybe someone came at them and then they struck back really hard, right? Yeah. Nobody really calls you the asshole if you're a cobra like that, right? Like if someone comes at you and you go back at them, people tend to forgive that. But I do think it's a sign of great maturity when you can use emotional modulation like that, right? It's very difficult, but I think it's a skill. And I think it does grow naturally with adults. I think in general, adults are a little more chill. But like you just don't fucking care as much what people think about you. That's true. And you're just like, okay, cool. You think that? Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. That's your opinion, man. Basically. Yeah. What's that from? I don't know. I just said it in a voice. Oh, okay. And I hope it played. That's your opinion, man. And then I thought it was a thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's from the That's Your Opinion Man show. You never seen that? That's Your Opinion Man. Great podcast. It's just people giving their, like, politicians give really long speeches and their opinions, and then afterwards, you're just kind of like, damn, I don't know what I think about that. And then just like blasé Australian guy just goes, that's your opinion, man. And that's the whole show. Yeah, totally. Sarah hated that riff so much. She gave me sympathy laugh, but she actually hated it, guys. But this guy is 24, so I'm not going to blame him. Also, he lost 120 pounds is a huge accomplishment. I'm not going to blame him for not being completely zen about this.
Right. Top non-NTA Aaron B writes, everyone sucks here. Your sister is TA for obvious reasons, and you are TA for doing to her the exact thing you hated that she did to you. How about everyone stop commenting on other people's bodies, periods?
Like, I guess, I don't disagree.
Sorry, bodies, period. Not bodies, periods.
That no.
That's not like
I don't disagree, but I also think that's like a pretty big, I don't know, oversimplification.
I do, like, I wanted to compliment my coworker today, and I just said, hey, can I give you a looks-based compliment? I try to cover my bases.
That's not bad.
She's like, of course.
I don't hate that.
Yeah,
I actually kind of like it. I think, like, stop commenting on everyone's bodies. It's like, like, ideally, that would be great. Also, how about everyone stop like going to war with each other? Like, these are just like idealistic topics that, like, I don't know. I think
going to war with each other.
Yeah, I'm just like, all of these things would be great in an ideal world, but you can't apply this large scale idealistic thing to this family who's clearly going through some shit right now. But obviously, we would love it if people would stop commenting on people's bodies. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of every time I go in the subway, there's always women. Oh, look at him. He's so hot. And it's
hard. You have to, like, how do you go about and live your life, Danny?
I know. It's Cathar 20 with the top Reddit comments.
The actual top comment got deleted, so we'll never know. But I picked the second top comment.
Technically, I have to give the judgment of everyone sucks here, but good for you for standing up for yourself. I think you said what needed to be said. Interesting.
I also am like, should you apologize? Like, I don't think so. Yeah. This family sounds toxic as hell.
True.
But I don't know. It's easy for me to say because I really don't have any relationship with cutting off any family members or, so it's like, I don't have any experience in this matter.
I don't know. I'm not ready. I loved your analysis I am on board for the narc family system, but I think there is a difference when a man insults a woman's weight. It's just extra harsh because we live in a society where women are judged super harshly about their weight. Like Benjamin Franklin is fat. I don't know why that's my example because I don't know enough about celebrity culture. John Goodman, whatever. There's tons of fat. Yeah. No one's like, oh, he's fat. He looks like shit. And he does. But, instead, like when a woman's fat, it's like a whole thing,
I agree.
It's not fair.
But part of me like thinks it's almost different within the construct of a family because you kind of are like at the same level of familiarity with each other.
That's true.
So to me, it's like different in a way.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's always something to be said about being the better person, and he could have been aware. Like, clearly she's insecure. She's now lost her role in the family hierarchy. She is now,
Yeah. He could have not made so many repeated jabs at her and really come at her in that way.
Yes. He was literally being complimented. So, like, if anything, those two should emotionally cancel each other out, not make you go nuclear.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious that she was just lashing out because she was insecure.
Not to tie this to myself, but I'll go for it.
Do it.
I get a lot of engagement now on TikTok, and whenever I have a hit...
It's too cool to talk to me.
I know I don't really like to be associated with people of your type, but no. And like sometimes when I get a good post that hits, I'll get these comments and they really haunt me. And it's just, it's frightening, but I always have to remind myself, like, I literally don't get negative comments unless my post blew up.
Yeah, I know.
It only happens when it blows up.
I don't read my comments that often for that reason. I had this joke, it just got picked up by a few accounts. Like, yeah, I said something like, Meghan Markle convinced Prince Harry to leave the royal palace. Meanwhile, I'm trying to just convince one guy to stop fucking other people. And I didn't even see this, but like some guy commented like, well, maybe it's because she's a beautiful princess and you're not. And then 3 minutes later, he was like, you know what? I'm sorry. That was an inappropriate joke.
Oh my God.
I didn't even have to come for him. He came for himself.
Wow.
And I was like, thanks. I appreciate your apology. Also, she's not a princess. She's a duchess. Like, you're not even right.
You're just wrong.
Yeah. I was like, people are so weird on the internet. Like, I'm just like, you don't need to call me ugly. That's not the joke.
Right.
But all right, cool. Like, but I was like, cool. I appreciate that you realized that you were wrong and you came for yourself before any of my followers had to come for you. So
Yeah, the comment. Well, so I made this dumb joke, which is like, how does it go? It's like, if you wear a red shirt in Target, I'm in Target wearing a red shirt as I say this. If you wear a red shirt in Target, people will assume you worked there.
That seems like a fact.
Go with it. Help them. Tell them to go to a better school so they can shop at a nicer store than Target.
What nicer store is there, though? West Elm? Yeah.
Well, I guess for me, the kind of angle I was running at Target, the Target jokes were like, if you shop at Target or you feel the need to say Target is better than Walmart, I'm not listening because I'm on Amazon Prime. Why are you going there?
You're in 2030.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I like it.
But you're right. Like, and that was the funny. Actually, I like this comment where someone's like, what am I supposed to do? Buy toilet paper at Gucci? And I was like, that's funny.
Yes.
You are actually refuting the joke in a good way. But this one guy just wrote something along these lines. I find your focus to be misplaced. It was like something like that.
I love when people take my jokes seriously. And I'm like, oh, just get off here. Like,
I was like, I don't know what to say to this, but it bothered me a lot.
I had this one tweet that was just like, do I want to open up to him or do I just want to take a nap? And someone like analyzed this and he was like, that doesn't even make sense. That's like saying, do I want to be vulnerable or am I just full of cocaine? And I'm like, all right, first of all, if you've ever been sleep deprived, you know that you're very emotionally volatile, but that's not even worth the joke. The joke is like, it's just a stupid thought that I had. And like, why did you sit here, fact check this, comment on this when you could have just like kept it moving and kept it scrolling and not done any of this, you weirdo.
Right. Well, because people are, I think they're jealous. They're jealous of you getting your likes and your talent.
Thank you. My 0 Instagram ads. Yeah. Sponsor me. Just kidding.
Yeah. Guys,
I don't know. People are just so weird. Like they take things seriously and it's like, why do that when you could just not?
Because they don't have emotional modulation. That's what I'm telling you. And it's a tough thing to build, but you've got to... Oh my God, I'm reading a book about this.
Ooh, what book?
It's called Stillness is the Key. It's by this author who I love.
Love it.
I'm coming out as a fanboy. His name's Ryan Holiday. All his books are about Stoicism, which is an ancient Greek philosophy. And they all have really cool titles. What?
Was that a joke or were you mansplaining Stoicism? To me, like I know the concept.
Well, I know, but you know what? I was actually covering my own ineptitude because I was like, okay, briefly explain Stoicism. How do you do it? It's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like just always being neutral, not buying into your victories.
Yes, not being ruled by emotion.
Yes.
Not letting your emotions show.
Yes.
Cool.
I apologize for the mansplaining.
It's okay. Sorry, I just kicked you.
And you didn't have to kick me, Sarah. Oh my God. No, she barely touched me. So, but all his books have titles like they're kind of cheesy, but I love them. One's The Obstacle is the Way.
Oh God.
And the second one is Ego is the Enemy.
Yes.
And the third one is Stillness is the Key. And the premise of Stillness is the Key is that sometimes you got to cut everyone out. You got to push everyone away. You got to push all the information and things coming towards you and be still.
I kind of love that.
It's great. I love it. His writing style is like super, it's super like it could be read to you and you can buy the audiobooks.
Yes.
It's very readable. It's really like almost not quite poetry because that sounds bad, but you know what I mean? It flows very, very fast.
Cool. I like it.
Plug for Ryan Holiday, unsponsored plug, folks. NOS 326, we're going to do a final comment here on the situation. Yeah, I feel like this is an important distinction to make. This sub is, am I the asshole, not am I in the right, wrong? Sometimes it really isn't that bad to be an asshole because the only language that people understand sometimes. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, nonetheless, even though I have tried to espouse a view that we should all try to emotionally modulate, and when we feel the impulse to be mean or do something bad, that we should just try to suck it in and not blow up, and that's a thing of maturity. I can't call this guy an asshole.
I actually can. I think.
Really?
Yeah, yes, because he didn't make one comment. He made a number of comments, and like... To me, I'm just like, you could have stopped at one, I think. So I definitely think it's an ESH. I'm kind of on board with the Reddit comment where it's like, you both technically suck. Am I mad at you for it? No. But like, are you technically in the wrong? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I don't like ESH because then that makes him equal to her, and I feel like she came at him.
We know that it's not a balanced scale when we say ESH. Someone can always suck more.
All right. AITA for blowing up my stepsister at her concert when I lost weight. We agree. Everyone sucks here.
But we hate your stepsister. She sucks more.
Now we are finally on to a treat I've been waiting for a long time.
God.
I commissioned this piece of writing, and I did come up with the title, AITA for Being a Horse, written by the great Chandler Dean.
I'm beside myself.
I have not read this. I have no idea what I'm about to read.
Wait, I thought you had a bunch of people compete, and you picked the winner.
No, one person applied. There was an application process.
And only one person applied. Okay, great.
And I was honored because Chandler Dean is actually a comedy writer, and like he's published at McSweeney. He's awesome.
Oh my God.
He actually used me, so he like sent these tweet drafts that he was working on because he had a troll. Actually, this guy made a parody account of him.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Damn, he made it. Good for him.
I mean, yeah, and so this guy was super mean-spirited, though.
Ew.
And so he made this really funny presentation, like criticizing how this guy was parodying him and saying that it wasn't true parody. And then he was going to write this really mean comment back. And so he advised me, and then he came to me for advice, and I said, no, don't be mean to this guy. Elevate him because he's obviously such a loser because who makes a parody account of someone? I mean,
I think that's the best thing. What I like to do is if people say mean shit, I just put them back on blast.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to hide in the DMs or the comments, okay, cool. Like I'll expose you. This is what you wanted. If you can't take the heat, don't say mean shit.
Yeah. Smart. Without further ado, AITA for Being a Horse. Horse via AITApod.com. I love it already. So some background. I don't want to put the cart before the me. I am 23/horse.
Also, there's a footnote that says source Google search for how old are horses.
Interesting.
Well, you didn't want to pull like a 400-year-old horse and we'd be like, you're the asshole. They don't live that long.
My owner, 30/human, has been riding my ass for years. Generally, that's okay because, well, I'm a horse. That's my job. I'm not a stallion justice warrior who thinks we need to go bareback and seize the means of pony production. A gig's a gig. But lately things have changed. It's an accumulation of nagging things. For example, when we used to go out for rides, my owner would say stuff like, come on, adorable name redacted, let's get some fresh air. But slowly this has dissolved into my owner kicking my sides and yelling, yah. I mean, what is that? That's pretty valid. By the way, for context, if you don't know what a horse is, we're like humans, but with dangly faces, 4 legs, no arms, better hair, worse noses, ponytails on our butts instead of our heads, a general majestic vibe, and weird cloppy horse feet. It took me weeks to type this. Anyway, just as the wind is flowing through my mane and I'm tantalizingly close to achieving horse flow. Like flow state? Horse flow?
What's
You've heard of flow? Like getting into a state of flow?
Oh, okay.
Horse flow. My owner yanks the reins and screams, whoa, 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 right? Whoa.
Whoa, yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah. That triggered, wow, I'm really ignorant. That triggered
You're just poor, it's okay.
Hey, I got a donkey. That triggered my unbridled rage. I wanted to remain stable, but this was a miscarriage of justice. Wow, a lot of puns in this sentence.
So good.
And it behooved me to harness that energy and mount a defense. Props on that. And this is the part I'm not proud of. I buckled and bucked my owner off my back. Keep in mind, I did this because I'm a horse, and that's a thing that's a horse thing horses do. But that doesn't excuse my behavior. I tried to apologize by sheepishly nuzzling my owner, but they just kept repeating the same things. Bad horse, and I can't feel the bottom half of my body.
Oof.
Oh my God, he paralyzed the owner.
Harsh.
I totally understood, but now it's been months since our last ride, and my owner isn't exactly jockeying to do it again. Wow. Okay, that's pun number 11. I just want to
wanted this.
No, I didn't want a pun fest. I hate the pun. I just want to get out there and sow my oats. God damn it, a 12th pun. Instead, I'm stuck eating them. Before it came to this, I tried to express my horse feelings. I whimpered. I tilted my head 45 degrees downward. I did the twitchy thing where it kind of seems like I'm sneezing, but it's not quite that. You know that thing?
I know exactly what they're talking about.
What are they doing, those horses? Nothing got through, so I lashed out, and I regret it, but I don't regret bringing attention to the problems. Also, I don't think humans appreciate the I don't think humans appreciate the history of my people, horses. I hate to generalize, but humans are always walking around like they own the earth, but they've only been here for 200,000 years. Then there's a citation source, Google search for how long have humans been on earth.
Wow, I love it.
Horses have been on Earth for 55 million. Oh my God,
Is that
Sarah.
true?
The horses are on a great run.
Wow.
55 million years, the horses. But that's like how everybody is into Lizzo these days, when her true fans have been standing her since her flute covers on YouTube.
How do you know about Lizzo? You're a horse.
Ah, got him there. In this metaphor, Lizzo is the earth, standing is, quote, generally existing, and flute covers is the era when horses ruled the planets. Wow,
no, that's not what standing means. Get out of here.
Yeah.
It means you're a super fan.
Well, no, but the horse was telling us that that's how the metaphor, I don't know. This horse really is a pretty smart horse. Holy shit.
Wow. Oh my God, this horse could rule us all.
I've done all of the galloping in this relationship and all of the trotting, dashing, scampering, prancing, whinnying, and neighing. For that matter, and as the horse in the couple, I'm willing to do that, but not if I'm going to be punished for being who I am. This may spur a lot of arguments. AITA for being a horse, yay or nay?
Oh my God.
Or should we say, nay? Hey.
What did you even want to do with this? Like, what were you setting forth to do in your mind when you commissioned this piece?
I guess, well, I just thought it was funny. I just kept saying it to myself. AITA for being a horse.
I mean,
I just think horse is a funny word.
The punt. That's it.
Horse.
That's it. Wow.
And it's a funny animal. They're ridiculous animals. They're so big. They're bigger than almost every animal you ever see. And yet they're common somehow. I mean, the horse is a fascinating creature.
Okay.
It's majestic, right? What other animal that is common and majestic? It almost seems like a contradiction. Common majesty, but there she is, the horse.
Oh my
and
God.
think about this. If a horse kicked you, it doesn't need to bite. It could kill you. And I think that's impressive. That's how tremendous they are.
Yeah.
Right? Like a dog could kill you, but it's kind of like take you down and bite your neck. It's a whole thing. A horse could like fart weird and kick you and you're dead. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
But nonetheless, I don't blame the horse because it is in the horse's nature. That, and ultimately I think our author here is going very deep, right? Because the horse, why did he kick the human? Why did he buck the human? Excuse me, buck the human.
Because the human like fucked up his flow without warning.
And the reason that happened is because he's a horse.
Right.
In other words,
horses are meant to just run free. I hate myself.
Yeah. And to put it simply, horse is gonna horse. You know? Right. And so I don't think that this horse is an asshole.
No. Nor is he a donkey.
Nor is he a donkey.
Sorry, I'm the worst. But you did this.
I'm actually going to create a new verdict. AITA for being a horse. I say, you're the horse.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful. I hate it, but beautiful.
Guys, that's the app. I hope you enjoyed it. Life is magical. And pet a horse for me, huh?
Yeah, but don't get kicked by it.
Don't get kicked. Stay behind the little fence thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Monday morning.
Bye.